purposes. It's for me to just tell you, go for your purpose. Everyone has purpose. Oh no, I can't think of nothing. No, the reason why you can't think of nothing because your mind is so convoluted with all of the polluted information that you received from the day you was born that it's covering up those treasures, that inheritance that God had for you. That's why. At the people in government. And you have to remember, these people are doing a job. They went to school. They believe they're doing something right in their mind from their world perception. That's what they think. So if you come at them with hostilities, you're going to be met back with hostilities. Even if you have that thought in your mind, it can help. It could possibly get you rejected. Yes, some places are tougher than others, but remember, you are the creator of all things you are experiencing, and take responsibility for that. All right. I know on the screen you guys see my Department of State authenticated passport application. Now,
Akeem, I just want to interrupt real quick. We see a big old business meeting is being recorded.
Yes, it is being recorded.
No, it's a big old sign in the middle of the screen that says that.
Okay. Is everybody else having that issue?
Just hit continue. You should see something.
Continue. Oh, just hit continue.
Yeah.
That's because they're trying to record it too, and they need your permission to do that.
Yeah, they gotta. Whenever I hit record, it's gonna make everybody agree that they want to be recorded. So,
acknowledged. Thank you.
All right, that's why you have that there. All right. Where was I? All right. This process I would like for everyone, a few of you, I know you already done my passport process. I don't know if everybody's done it, but this is to be done after you do the passport process, if you can. Some of you guys got issues with the IRS, got issues with child support that will not allow you to get a passport until that is rectified. So one of the documents you're going to be submitting is your authenticated copy of your passport application, along with the other stuff I'm going to show you. So that's what I'm adding to it. Plus, I changed the language in some of the documents, and I'm also adding years ago we talked about the injunction, so that has been changed. It's kind of you can still look at it like an injunction, but that is going to be an option you can include with submitting your paperwork. All right. Someone said they're waiting for 2 months for the authentication. Yes, authentication takes a while. Sometimes they call you, and if you don't answer, they'll send you a letter. But it took me 3-4 months to get mine back, and COVID has not been helping that situation out at all. All right, so let's go to close the screen out. Let's go here. I'm gonna share the screen in a minute. As soon as my all right. Every state, well, I won't say every. Yes, Michael, you have to request your authentication. All right, let's go over here, share the screen. All right, this is an article that came out in February 6th of 2018, which is funny that it let me make sure this are you guys seeing that screen with the woman's driver's license, the head?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, good.
Yes, I can.
All right.
It's cut off. Are we supposed to be seeing the full license?
Well, it's cut off because I
Okay.
have to scroll through it. You should be seeing me scrolling now. You good?
Good.
All right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the article. And on this article, it explains how in North Carolina, they passed a bill for the American Indians to have a designation on the driver's license. They can opt in to do that. Then I went and researched 1 or 2 more states, and guess what? Pretty much all of them had the option to self-identify who you are and have it on your driver's license. Now, one of the pitfalls is, which we all know, is that is that they only leave a certain designation for you to check off. And we all know why that is, right? They want you to fit into one of their U.S. citizen titles. And my whole teaching is don't fit into a U.S. citizen title. Hang on, there's someone trying to get in here. I don't know. I know there's a couple of extra double entries in here. Hang on a second. When they say black, white, and other, they are locking you in to what they perceive who you are. And that's against your rights, because you have a right to say who you are. They don't have a right to tell you who you are. And for years, we've been allowing them to psychologically deceive us into checking off one of these boxes because we felt like we had no other choice. You see what I'm saying? So, but you have choices. And the law is clear, because I'm going to pull out some of these laws and show you in these states, they actually say you have an option to self-identify. In the late 1980s, the State Division of Motor Vehicles decided that vague notation was not needed to meet the law's requirements for a description of the driver, and race was removed from the license starting in January 1990. Now, I know why they probably removed it, because once they identify who people really are, then they realize what jurisdiction they fall in. So if they get you to pick one of theirs, then everybody's assumed to be in their jurisdiction, so they can start writing tickets. They can do whatever they want to you. So, but 3 years later, State Rep Ronnie Sutton, a Democrat from Robeson County, filed a bill that would require a person's race be listed on a driver's license. Sutton, a member of the Lumbee tribe and the only Native American legislator at the time, said that for American Indians, the notation was important in establishing their identity and preventing confusion about their background. So he did this because he didn't want confusion, because they have certain rights. See, the American Indian even has their own Supreme Court. So they're a government running side by side with the current government. But most people don't know their own lineage, so they don't attach themselves to that government. The bill had the support of the State Commission of Indian Affairs. Gregor Richardson, the commission's current executive director, says it's still important to Native Americans to be able to establish their identity on the license, the way many military veterans opt to put the veteran designation on theirs. The General Assembly chose to make race an option on the driver's license at the request of the applicant. Driver's license examiners are not required to ask a customer for his race unless the customer asks for it to appear on the license, said the DMV spokesman, John Brockwell. So they're saying they're going to just automatically, and I know this for a fact, because when I first started this process in October of 2018, and funny about it is this article came out in January of 2018. I knew nothing about this article at that time. And I decided to go in there and do that. They'll automatically check off a box, look at you, and check a box off for you. Which there's all kind of problems with that. You know, someone assuming who you are, right? So let me continue. And in fact, only a tiny fraction of drivers asked for their race to be included on their license. Of the more than 8 million people carrying a North Carolina driver's license or ID last month, only 98,248 or 1.2% listed the person's race according to DMV statistics. Okay, so about a quarter of the people who chose to put race on their license were Native Americans, so 25%, in a state where they account for just 1.6% of the population. So these people, they're national. All right. Can y'all hear me? Am my sound good? I always gotta check. How y'all doing out there? I'm sorry. Yesterday I had no power. Power went off about 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Didn't come on till about 10 o'clock at night. We had this storm that came out of nowhere and knocked the power out. Half the neighborhood, like, I live on a circle. My street is a circle. So the other half had power, and then we didn't have power, but then eventually that half went out. Didn't come on till about 10, maybe about a little after 10 last night. It was hot, too. It's a hot day. I don't know, that storm that came, I've seen some storms. I've seen some really good storms. This storm came out of nowhere. It was sunny, like a regular hot summer day. And then all of a sudden it got dark like night, just like that. Boom. Storm, trees were like almost sideways. And then it was gone 5 minutes later. Sun back out. Like it just appeared out of nowhere, came, did its thing, left, took the power out, and sun came out like it never was there. It's weird. I've seen storms, get dark, boom. But this, the way it came, as fast as it came and as fast as it went, it was to me, it was just out of the norm. I felt like it was a little weird. Reminder, the discharge seminar is on August the 26th, 2023 in Vegas. There it is right there. Everything we'll be talking about 1099 trust. We'll be talking about unincorporated nonprofit associations and government grants for those nonprofits that are not 501c3. See, a lot of people believe that you have to have that 501c to get a grant, but if you're a religious organization, you don't need that. You know? So I'm gonna be talking a little bit about that. A lot about it. And I got a lot of interest in it because I got people who've been trying to start their ministries and do things for the community, and they needed a jump start. So I got to meet with some people tomorrow that's interested in working with me on that. So all you people that set up y'all ministries, hey, I got the answer. Y'all want to go out to the community? Let me get a little light in here. Go out to the community and and that static are being sacrificed. And that's if your stuff's not available, they can't hear it. Sometimes you got to feel your way through the dark, and I struggled all the way up into the minute. Peace. What's up? I was late today, bro. I didn't get into the house until 7:15 because I was we had to do some maintenance on one of the trucks and get the DOT inspection, and just took some time. So I'm just now sitting down, and I titled this something. What's the name of this? The vehicle protection, theft protection statute that they have out there. Someone sent this to me earlier, said that I know about it. No, I didn't know about it. Because I never heard of it. And I guess what they're implying that they got this theft protection statute has something to do with your vehicle registration and how that's why you have to register a car. I guess that's where they're going with it. Him and I did not get into oh, there we go. I hit something. All right. Him and I, you guys can hear me good? My screen went blank. So I'm gonna read this statute, and I'm not convinced by what I read. Maybe you guys get something from it. You guys heard of this thing? This statute? Let me share my screen. Let me see. What is it gonna share? This is the statute. This is a couple of them. I got the actual public law printout. Motor Vehicle Theft Prevention Act regulations. I'm really assuming that they're saying this is why you have to register your cars because of this, and when you do this, you give them a right to pull you over. But when I read some of the things, it just wasn't convincing. Then I went through the application for registration because there's some things you have to agree to before you're enrolled in this program. So I'll get to that. I'll read that, but we'll see. The verdict is still out, but I thought I'd bring it to you because you probably, yeah, like it's my first time hearing it too. Indie Circle, he says this is my first time hearing of it. Me too. And so I'm just gonna read through it because now that it's out there, I suspect more people are gonna be trying to teach this and say this is why you have to register your cars, and this is what you're agreeing to it to once you do this. And I read it. I'm not convinced yet that that's the case, although there's some wording that can get you to think that that's what it's for. You know, man, we got a light crowd today. We had a bigger crowd yesterday. I like that question and answer thing that I did. So I'll definitely be doing that more often when I get back off vacation. So I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna read it. I'm thank Omar. Omar Bay sent it to me. So all right. Give me 1 second. I'm checking something. Yeah, it was a busy day. We now that we got the hot shots and we're moving those container trailers on the ports, we have to have a particular membership to get on the ports, and we have to have our insurance updated. So that's large part of the day. That's what I was dealing with, you know. So I apologize for getting on late. So let's get into this act. Let's read it. Let's read it. Share the show to people that might be interested, that you think will like to hear this, because you're gonna. I'm telling you, this is the new wave. This is gonna be people running for this. All right. So I'm gonna read it from the New Jersey Motor Vehicles and Traffic Regulation section, content of informed consent agreement. Um, did I? Is this the same? Let me see. Let me go back to here. Authorizations to stop more motor vehicle. Okay, this is the part of the law. Let's see. Decal. This, go back. Go forward. All right. Yeah, I want to make sure I'm on the right section here. All right, maybe I should start with this. I'll start with this. All right, here we go. All right, here it is. Here's the law. It says Motor Vehicle Theft Prevention Act regulation. This is a federal statute, and just as a recap of what I said earlier, this is something that someone sent me to, I guess, support the fact that the reason why you have to register and get license plates because you're putting yourself in this Motor Vehicle Theft Prevention Act statute where they can pull you over. But there's some let me read it and you'll see what I'm saying. Purpose, definitions, administration by the Bureau of Justice Assistance, election to participate by states and localities, notification of law enforcement officials, limited participation by states and localities permitted, withdrawal from the program by states and localities, motor vehicle owner participation, motor vehicle for hire, sale, or other transfer of an enrolled vehicle, specify conditions under which stops may be authorized. Department of Justice, no new conditions without consent. Authority, 28 USC 509, 510, 42 USC 14171. Now, to be fair, let me pull up the actual thing that was sent to me so you probably, it's called 28 CFR 29.10. 28 CFR 28 CFR 29.110. This is the actual thing that was sent to me. And they say the owner may withdraw from the program at any time by completely moving the program decal and changing the license plate if necessary. The owner is also encouraged to notify the participating agency in writing of such withdrawal. This is what they showed me as in support of this rule. Then I clicked, you know me, I'm going to read it all. So I'm basically reading this on the other page as a PDF. And because here you got to click through all of these. All of that. So let me go back to that, what I was reading. So the purpose of this part is to implement the Motor Vehicle Theft Prevention Act 42 USC 14171, which requires the Attorney General to develop, in cooperation with the states, a national voluntary motor vehicle theft prevention program. The program will be implemented by states and localities at their sole option. Under this program, individual motor vehicle owners voluntarily sign a consent form in which the owner indicates that the identified vehicle is not normally operated under certain specified conditions and agrees to display a program decal or license plate on the vehicle and to permit law enforcement officials in any jurisdiction to stop the motor vehicle if it is being operated under specified conditions and take reasonable steps to determine whether the vehicle is being operated by or with the permission of the owner. Excuse me. Let me move this. I'm scrolling the wrong screen. The regulations set forth in this part establish the conditions under which an owner may consent to having his or her vehicle stopped and the manner in which a state or locality may elect to participate. So this is saying that the owner can establish conditions on when to stop the vehicle. Maybe, for instance, hey, if this vehicle is driven during a certain amount of time, I was reading in other things that said you can set 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. If that vehicle's out there driving around, stop that vehicle, investigate to make sure that it is the owner who's driving that vehicle. So that's what that's about. Give me 1 second. Move this out of the way. So definition: for the purpose of this part, the act of the MVTPA means the Motor Vehicle Theft Prevention Act. Owner means the person or persons whose names appears on the certificate of title or to whom the car is registered. In the instance of a new vehicle awaiting sale or lease, or in the instance of a used vehicle where the title has been assigned to a dealership, the term owner shall be construed to mean new and used automobile dealership. The program refers to the National Voluntary Motor Vehicle Theft Prevention Program implemented pursuant to the Motor Vehicle Prevention Act. Administration by the Bureau of Justice Assistance. The director of the Bureau of Justice Assistance shall administer this program and shall issue guidelines governing the operational aspects of it, including the design and production of a standardized, universally recognizable MVTPA reflective decal, as well as model consent and registration forms. So this, I can see if someone's read this as reflective decal, because those little yearly stickers are reflective. And the license plate is reflective too also. Then they talk about registration forms. Okay. I can see where someone could believe that this had something to do with registering your vehicle, and this is why you're doing it. Election to participate by states and localities. Any state or locality that wishes to participate in the program shall register with the BGA and request program enrollment materials. Registration forms will be available upon request. Participation in the program is wholly voluntarily on the part of the state or locality. By electing to participate in the program, a state or locality agrees to do the following: make program enrollment materials, including consent forms, available to interested motor vehicle owners, collect completed consent forms, provide enrolled motor vehicle owners with the decals and license plates applicable to their program condition or conditions and instructions governing program participation. See, this is where you could say they have a point. It says provide enrolled motor vehicle owners with the decals and license plates applicable to their program condition or conditions and instructions governing program participation. So if I got to that part and I was like, okay, there's a point being made here. That's why the jury's still out. So my next move is to call the DMV and say, hey, this motor vehicle theft prevention program, do y'all have one? And what does it take to enroll? That's the way I would investigate it. I wouldn't just run with, hey, this is why I need to know. I need to call them and ask them. Take the necessary steps to authorize law enforcement officials to stop motor vehicles enrolled in the program and comply with any other regulations or guidelines governing participation in the program. Notification of law enforcement officials. In addition to the actions enumerated in 29.4b, as a condition of participating in the program, a state or locality must agree to take reasonable steps to ensure that law enforcement officials under its jurisdiction are familiar with the program and with the conditions under which motor vehicles may be adopted. Limited participation by states and localities permitted. A state or locality need not authorize the stopping of motor vehicles under all sets of conditions specified under the program in order to participate in the program. So they don't have to agree with all of that stuff. All of the conditions. Withdrawal from the program by states and localities. Any participating state or locality may withdraw from the program at any time by sending written notification to the BGA and by notifying participating owners individually by mail of the decision to withdraw. Here they're talking about the owners. Motor vehicle owner participation. In order to participate in this program, the owner of the motor vehicle must sign a program consent form and register with a participating state or locality. So this is where the issue gets clouded again. We'll register with a participating state. We know that all states participate in titling and registering your vehicle. If the vehicle is registered to more than one person, both owners must sign a consent form. So we need to see the consent form. Is the consent form the actual registration? Because it has to clearly outline what the conditions are. You got to tell them what conditions. What this is saying, you have to tell them the conditions on which that car could be pulled over. Let me continue. I'm kind of talking ahead because I didn't get to read that, so you don't know that. It says that. I read that already. But states that the vehicle is not normally operated under the specified conditions. Here's they're talking about the specifics. Agree to display the program decals or devices on the owner's vehicle. Permit law enforcement officials in any state or locality to stop the motor vehicle if the vehicle is being operated under the specified conditions and take reasonable steps to determine whether the vehicle is being operated by or with the permission of the owner. Expressly advise any borrower of the vehicle of the existence of this agreement and that such user will be subject to be stopped by law enforcement officials if the vehicle is being operated under the specified conditions, even if the officials have no other basis by believing the vehicle is being operated unlawfully, and comply with any other regulations or guidelines governing participation in this program. So here, the reason why I'm not confirming or denying this, because this is almost comparable to the W-4 form, where you go to the job, they make you fill that out, but the law actually says you don't have to fill that out. It's a voluntary action. This is kind of on the same lines that, oh, we got to voluntarily do this so that they can monitor our vehicle and stop it under certain conditions. But this is specifically stating that the owner can state out the parameters on when to stop their vehicle. So if this is true, this is a big deal. But I need to do some more investigation, meaning I need to call the DMV and tell them about this, ask them about this statute, and send me the necessary paperwork to join. And see if there's something different that they're offering for this program. Now, if they're offering something different, a different looking decal, this and that, then it's a different program. But if they just say, no, you just merely need to just register your vehicle and that's it, you're good, then we on to something. I believe. Motor vehicles for hire. Any person who is in the business of renting or leasing motor vehicles and who rents or leases a motor vehicle on which a program decal device is affixed shall notify the person to whom the motor vehicle is rented or leased about the program prior to transferring possession of the vehicle. So you're supposed to be notified by the owners, renting or just a private. Hey, listen, you could be pulled over because this vehicle is registered in this motor vehicle theft prevention program. The notice required by this section shall be printed in bold type in the rental and lease agreement and on the envelope in which the rental agreement is placed. So, that's funny. I just rented a car. So let's see if I can find that rental agreement and see if I can face it, because it's supposed to be in bold type. Let's see if I can find. Here it is. I found my one from. Oh, this is the old one from the 22. Well, that should be good enough, right? Let's see. Here's the agreement. Blah blah blah. I'll share it in a second. Wait a minute. It ain't got nothing in bold type. Maybe it's in that little. They give you that little fold out thing. These are the regular stuff. This is just a little summary. Yeah, and next time I rent a car, they give you that little folder with all that paper. That's we need to look at that. Let's see. Give me a second. Oh, I know I didn't. This is not the newest one that I did. The one I did last week when I visited my father. Let's see. Check this email. All right, let's do a search for enterprise. There it is. There's a rental agreement. Let's open you up. Okay, this one's a little longer. So let's see what it says. I'm going to read that because these words are in bold that I'm about to read. I'm going to read that. Give me a second. That's not the one I want to display. Let's close this out. This the one I'm showing. No. Quit that. Give me a second. Let's share Chrome. Yeah, there we go. The renter by signing below have read and agreed to the terms and conditions and additional terms and conditions which are incorporated by reference as if fully set forth herein. And the rental agreement summary collectively, the additional terms and conditions and the rental agreement summary are the contract by signing below. I'm authorizing owner to charge to the credit cards and or debit cards that I have provided to owner all amounts owed by me under the contract for advanced deposits, incremental authorizations, deposits, and or any other amounts owed by me, as well as payments refused by a third party to whom billing was directed. I also authorize owner to reiterate any charge to my cards that is dishonored and for any reason. I certify that the driver's license presented is currently valid and is not suspended, expired, revoked, canceled, or surrendered. I further acknowledge consent to the terms and conditions set forth herein in the paragraph with the heading Dispute Resolution Provisions, Mandatory Arbitration Agreement. In additional terms and conditions, by signing below, renter agrees to owner's collection of information by renter's use of vehicle, texting, and or calling. See paragraphs with the heading Text and Call and owner's collection and use of the vehicle. Renter use the vehicle, navigation, and blah blah blah. I don't see anything about this thing, so let's see if I can click on additional terms and conditions and see what that says. Okay, it's getting a little bigger. Renter acknowledges the vehicle may optional by ownership beneficiary. Renter is taking possession of it and any option as is and has adequate. How do I shrink this? All right, so the whole thing shows. Adequate opportunity to inspect vehicle, any other options there, operation, owner excludes all warranties, both express and implied with respect to the vehicle, any option or accessory, including an implied warranty or merchantability of fitness for the particular purchase. That they basically said they can give you a broken car. It don't matter. I'm skimming right now to find this wording. Oh, this is about charges. Enable collection. Everything's prohibited to use termination of right to use. Renter agrees to this part is about insurance. Right. Renter shall defend, indemnify, hold owner harmless from all losses, liabilities. This is all about personal injury. This is a power of attorney. Oh. I'm not finding this language. Maybe you guys can catch it. This is all about insurance. Dispute resolution. Let me go back up. I'm gonna read this in detail and then go to that. Okay, so let's go back to what I was reading. Where was I? All right. In order to participate, blah blah blah. That's what I was reading. The notice shall require by this section be printed in bold type in the rental or lease agreement and on the envelope which the rental agreement is placed. So it needs to be on the envelope too. The notice provision in the rental or lease agreement must utilize a larger font than the standard type in the agreement. The notice must state that the motor vehicle may be stopped by law enforcement officials if it is operated under conditions specified by the program in which the car is enrolled, even if the officials have no other basis for believing that the vehicle is being operated unlawfully. Failure to provide the notice required by the section to a renter or leasee may result in the assessment of a civil penalty by the Assistant Attorney General, Civil Division, or his or her designee of an amount not to exceed $5,000. No penalty shall be assessed unless the person charged has been given notice and an opportunity to have a hearing on such charge. An owner may withdraw from the program at any time by completely removing the program decal and changing the license plate if necessary. This is where it gets caught because they keep talking about changing the license plate. So that's where I say, is there another license plate you need to get? The owner is also encouraged to notify the participating agency in writing of such withdrawal. So you can just stop just by taking the advertisement off. Sell or other, but we know already you take a license plate off your car, you're getting pulled over. Okay? So that defeats it. I think I've read enough of this. What do you guys think? What do you think? Tell me. What do you think? So Indie Circus, so it's just like same theory that registered it with the state makes the state the owner, or is this a different program? And this is a different program than that, what they're talking about. And that whole registering and making the state the owner, that's another theory. I have not found any laws to support that. That, hey, we own it now that you registered with us, you know? What do you guys think? Do you think that this is possibly got to do with registering your vehicle? Or just an additional program? Like over here it says a motor vehicle owner may authorize law enforcement officers to stop the enrolled vehicle if it is being operated between the hours of 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. By enrolling in a program with this condition, the owner must state that the vehicle is not normally operated between the specified hours and that the owner understands that the operation of the vehicle between these hours provides sufficient grounds for a law enforcement officer to reasonably believe that the vehicle is not being operated by or with the consent of the owner, even if the law enforcement official has no other basis for believing that the vehicle is being operated unlawfully. Then the B is about border crossings. If the vehicle is seen crossing the border, stop that vehicle. You said maybe something you could do with your trucking company license. Limousine 7. Hey, yeah, but see, my trucks be on the road all kind of hours, overnight. Yeah, so that would cause too much hassle to do something like that. For real. For real. All right, I just wanted to go over that. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to call the DMV and investigate this. I don't know if I'm going to do it this week. I got so much going on. You know how calling those places take time. I'm going to check out and see. But all of it's all voluntary, so it's not like they force you to do it. But they could be inadvertently or inconspicuously getting you into it just by simply registering your vehicle. That's why I was looking at that rental contract, and I don't see that language in here anywhere. But then, I was skimming. Everything they had in here was about, the money, insurance, and it's supposed to be in bold type. So I went to everywhere where the font was different. To see. I skimmed through it. All exclusions, purchase personal effect. And I would see if a rental car company did this put this on there, they would have problems because people be getting pulled over at night, just driving because people, drive all, different times. So I'm just skimming again. I don't see it. So got more investigation too. Yeah. So it seems like it's about the everyday registration, but with the specific things that you got to do. But it won't be the first time that they did something like that where a law says one thing and they're doing another. So that's not outside of their abilities. All right, well, I'm done for tonight. It was good talking with you. I may people ask me, was I gonna do a show while I was on vacation? Maybe. I said no in my meeting. I don't know. Maybe if if I'm not trying to have fun at that time, I might. I might. But then on a cruise you got limited internet on there. All right, everyone. You guys have a good night. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to everyone.